Awesome. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Let me kill some music.
Hello.
We are back with Deadlands on a Thursday night again. Thursday night in the Deadlands. Um, and we've got Drake out there playing Timmons. Brad is playing Father Miguel.
Hola.
Wicked King, H.G. Willikers, the infamous H.G. Willikers, and Jeb Hexman, played by Venno.
Hello.
Bennerick.
I'm sure everybody's.
Yes. Let's see. Just where are we at? Oh, I think we left off last week. You guys were standing outside of what used to be the Explorer Society
Adventure. Yeah, that's it.
as smoke comes off of the embers.
Yeah, I think we set up our wagon not too terribly far from there.
We hope Captain Roderick Bennington Smythe wasn't asleep when that thing went up.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't sleep like you.
He'd be popsicle burnt. Firecracker. Something crispy.
He'd be a crispy critter, all right.
That is
Or
not
maybe
the
I think my camera's a little off.
Yeah, I moved you over there so we could see your character. I set you off to the left.
Oh, okay. So I could
Yeah. There you go. No. Yeah, I like the portraits and tokens you guys pick for your characters. Lets them identify who's on the map too. That helps a little bit. So here's some things that I read this week about Shan Fan. Red Lantern Town is basically the town that if you are not Chinese, you probably live in that district of the city. Prawn Valley, anything that comes from the ocean is processed in stuff over in there. Splinterville, that serves the lumber. I mean, it's basically just as it says. And then Stinktown, I think, is slaughterhouses and tanneries and whatnot. And then these roads that run off of this like fan-shaped city. You see these roads that run off and just kind of dead end at these houses. Those are the homes of some pretty powerful people. As you guys may or may not come to learn as we go forward. So here you are. You're appointed in the direction of the Explorer Society, and you get there, and lo and behold, it's been burnt to the ground, and there's smoke coming out of it. Take it away.
I guess we go back to St. Louis.
Maybe we should see why this is here thing is burned first.
Maybe they had a lantern fall over.
Like a red lantern, perhaps.
I'm gonna break off and get lost in the crowd.
Jeb's gonna go around to some of the folks standing outside and ask them what happened.
We went and stashed the wagon and stuff, I think, didn't we?
Yeah.
Like down the street somewhere. And then came back. Timmons wants to go on the building next door and look around on the roof.
That's what they say to you, Venno. You're going to go next door on the roof?
Mm-hmm. Like he's going to pick which roof would look like the best spot to sit and watch this building for the right time to burn it down, and then go and investigate that spot to see if somebody has been there. Remember, he's a thief, professional thief.
So you're looking at a place where somebody might have sat and looked and watched the building before doing something. You know, in today's world, it
Mhm.
might be some snuffed out cigarette butts, some, a piece of chewing gum, something. Okay.
Guy could be a tobacco chewer. Tink. You never know.
Well, you kind of look around, and by the way, what time was it? Because I time stamped this. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, and there's, quite a few people around. So you're just gonna start climbing up somebody's wall?
Is there a
What
fire
week is it?
ladder or emergency caught burnt down whole city, not have a escape route building? Probably.
I mean, you can see that there's, some of these uh, hotels and stuff have stairs on the outside going up to a second level, a door that goes into the second level. So you could go up on the landing and kind of stand around without really climbing up on somebody's roof. That might draw attention.
I don't care.
HG, you're kind of just
I'm gonna fan out for the crowd. I'm gonna keep an eye on the fire. As an expert person who burns things down, I'm just looking for signs on whether it would be natural or accelerants might be used. And while I'm going through the crowd, I want to sniff people and see if I smell anybody that would smell like any sort of accelerant that might be used.
well, what's that look like when you go up and start sniffing people?
Well, I mean, he's already stumbling through, running into everybody anyway.
Like, sniff someone, see.
So, Father Miguel, you
I
start
mean,
speaking in Spanish, people just kind of look at you funny and walk on, kind of like when Hexman started talking to him. Yeah, Timmons?
how long does this place look like it's been burnt down? Like
Last
hours
night?
or a couple days? So,
Well, yeah, maybe the day
it's
before you, but probably. I mean, you can still see a few flames coming up every now and then. Um, and there's people standing around talking about it, but they're all Chinese.
yeah.
Yeah, but this
Timmons
would
look
be,
at him. I don't speak orange.
Well, say, do I pick up on anything interesting they're saying? I would speak Mandarin.
Give me a streetwise roll. You guys all have streetwise, don't you? Common knowledge, whatever. I added streetwise, but
Well, we haven't had a level so we could take streetwise.
well, you know
We
what?
just
Let's just do
added
that.
it
Let's just,
midstream.
I completely forgot about that. When you guys got to Shan Fan, you were going to advance. So go ahead and do an advance if you'd like to. And we'll just keep on role playing through this. Or we can talk about how you're going to advance.
That's a good question.
I was so rip raring to go tonight that I forgot to. That's terrible, isn't it, when the GM forgets to give you your advance?
Well, what about bennies and adventure cards?
Oh, you know what? I am just so excited.
I'm
Hey,
nervous
Drake.
that he's that excited.
Hey, Drake. Marb is still coming through your mic some.
I don't know why. Is everybody else hearing Mark through my mic?
Well, I'm seeing you light up when he's talking, and I'll occasionally hear it coming through.
Let's reshuffle this.
Oh,
Let's
I see it
reshuffle
too.
this deck. And fate chip bag has been initialized. So here we go. Reset fate chips. Reset adventure card. Very cool. You know what? We'll put the tugboat away for right now. Send that combat tracker out a little bit. And what in the hell is going on with the combat tracker? Oh, that would be because I do not have it up. Well, looky there. All right, so you guys got fate chips, you got cards, and you are working on your advance.
Didn't do the thing where it actually added like an extra number to the events there.
To what?
You didn't actually give us the advance.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Aha.
Wait, so what are you guys at now?
6.
Because I don't want, at least at one point I had putting it in myself, and then he did it later. I didn't realize he could.
Oh, when I hit the advance button, you were just doing it yourself?
Yeah, like I had already done my advance and was all set, and then you hit the advance button. It's like I knew I had too many, I just wasn't sure how many times I had done that. Twice, being the answer.
Alright. I see Spin lurking around out there. He's lurking. So, how are you guys working your advances?
I'm looking at some edges.
Streetwise and riding.
I'm looking at some edges.
Yeah, I think I might do an edge.
There's one particular edge I'm trying to find. I just don't remember the name of it.
What to do?
It's the one that refills your power points when you pull a Joker.
Like power surge or something like that?
Maybe. Ah, okay, yeah, it is power surge.
Go me!
Now it's between these two edges, power surge and dodge.
What's dodge do?
The hero can anticipate attacks or move erratically under fire unless the victim of a surprise attack and taken completely unaware. Dodge subtracts 2 from all ranged attacks made against the character. Dodge does not stack with actual cover, however.
Seems useful.
Yes. You know what? I think I'm just going to go with dodge.
It does seem like you get shot at more than you use power points.
Yeah, at the moment. Now it basically gives me a +2 cover. Season Julie. Yep, right there.
Is anybody in clean feed tonight? Or not clean feed, Sirens Gate?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I am.
I was,
I'm not
but I
su-
haven't heard anything.
I'm not sure I can. That I know how to tell who's in the.
It's like, well, do you have the mini player open?
Yeah.
Click on your name up there where it says hello, whatever, Marbanya, and that'll open up on your browser the Sirenscape control panel.
Right.
And then you can look under
Is in
Marbanya
the
and
game.
see.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it says Metacuri is in the game.
Mine shows me, Brad, Silver Fox, Wicked One, and Kinji in the game.
Yeah, mine's showing all your guys in here too.
Yeah, you could have more people just sitting in there. Play something. I don't hear anything. You playing something? Oh, wait, here, I got it. Yeah, I hear that.
Okay.
I think I got you stopped from coming through my mic, too. What do you think, Bino?
Can you hear me coming through his mic? Can you hear me?
I can. Sounds good now. I don't know
Cool.
what you changed.
I turned off a button.
Turned off a button.
Yeah, probably something like mic boost or something.
No, if you want to know the truth, my PC audio A3 button was turned on.
I have no idea what the hell that means.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Why I said I turned off a button. Marksman, let's see.
Oh, that's a good one.
Marksman does seem useful.
Eh. There we go.
So, around Red Lantern Town, is there any English or anybody that looks like they speak English?
Us?
Yeah, Red Lantern Town, you've got plenty of English-speaking folks, but they're just kind of, you see most of them in the saloons and stuff. There's a couple out here on the streets.
Yeah, I would ask one of them if they knew anything about the Explorers Guild.
Got no
Or
idea,
still-
mister.
They're nearby.
You know anybody that might?
Got no idea, mister. I'm
Well,
just
thank you,
gonna
sir.
mind my own business. Let's see. Father Miguel and
Nearby.
did H.G. Willikers or Father Miguel take Streetwise?
Yes.
I made my roll. It was a 7.
Okay.
We were talking about it earlier.
Damn, Padre.
All right, so as you guys spend some time, looking through the shops around here, and there's a barber shop, and there's a couple of hotels, and all around this block where this building was that burned. Most people are Chinese here, going here and there. You do see quite a few Western Europeans, and you guys both. You kind of come back together, and Father Miguel, 10-year-old 7, you run into this guy, and his name is Willie Longtam. And he seems to kind of be that old drunk on the street that he's an old Chinese drunk, and he's like, yeah, I know what happened. Of course, he's speaking in, Cantonese, Mandarin, something. Yeah, I know what happened. They got that society there. They ran afoul of the real law in Shan. The Sai Shi Jin or the family of deliverance? I don't have Cantonese set up here.
Correct. That's why I asked if you could add it.
Yeah, languages. We can do.
I like this music. What is it exactly?
It is called A Great Adventure.
I like.
We need to find that lost Roman colony is what we need to do.
That island out of time or something.
I'll take it. Or at least, someone else speak.
So you run into this old drunk Chinese guy, and he tells you, "See, yeah, they run afoul of the wrong folks, basically."
Do you know what it is that they did to run afoul?
I don't know what it is they did. I just know they did it. I was laying here like sleeping cat. The family of deliverance. Basically, he says most folks would call them the Shan triad. So, if someone asks in Chinese, any dialect, makes a streetwise roll at -4, which I didn't, often I'll do that, have you guys roll something and not tell you there's a penalty for it. But so they run into Willie Longtam, who quietly whispers that the society ran afoul of the real law in Shanfang, the Sai Shi Jin, or family of deliverance. Most folks would call them the Shanfan Triad, a vicious gang who runs the town and every vice in it. The Explorer Society Lodge was burned, and he tells you that there's a bunch of stuff looted out of it, and it was kind of a gang came in here and broke in, looted a bunch of stuff, set it on fire, and left. And he tells you if you want to know any more than that, you'll have to talk to long-haired Tony, the town marshal of Shanfan.
Long-haired Tony.
Tony.
Yeah, it sounds like someone you might be able to talk to as a former sheriff, this year marshal.
Did they haul any bodies out?
Yeah, was anybody killed in the fire?
You asking you gonna have one of the guys ask him this?
No, I'll relay the messages.
Okay, so you're gonna interpret.
And I'm guessing HG is not with us.
No, he's off stumbling around, getting drunk and sniffing people.
He probably found himself a tavern.
I think
Knowing
he was
him.
trying to glean some information.
On his way to the
I
tavern.
was gonna investigate the fire, but yeah, once we lost a place, might as well find a nicer place to stay.
So he tells you, if there's any bodies in there, they'll be pulled out when the place cools off. Nobody's even bothered to look yet. And he just walks off and stumbles down the street. That's about all he's got to say. Oh, Willie Longtam. Willie Longtam's the name, he says. Sounds more like and he bows to you real deep, and then stumbles off.
Impressive he can bow with that balance. Right, he didn't fall on his face.
A lot of practice, I imagine. I mean,
Well,
how
he
does
did mention that marshal. Otherwise, they haven't checked the body since it's still a little too smoldery there.
How long do you suppose it'll be until it cools?
And that is a good question. I bet HG would have a better idea about that one.
Probably by the next night. Then you're gonna have a lot of embers. Still underneath's gonna be hot.
We can get some marshmallows and just hang out. I think I
No.
got some meat on the wagon.
Well, I might be able to do something for us if we want to go poking around in there.
Yeah, but you're not with us, are you?
Not far away. I mean, I'm wandering through the crowd at the same spot. It's not like I don't stand out.
So you're at least within eyesight.
Yeah.
So Timmons is going to take off the ring and put it in his pocket. People
Oh.
don't like these places. They might not like the whole industry.
Yeah, and Jeb's going to make sure that he has his badge covered up. He doesn't want to give away things too soon.
Holy shit, there's a lot of sounds in this.
I wonder if we can find this marshal.
I'm sure we can ask somebody that speaks English.
I think we should go to the newspaper.
Hello, test, test, there it goes.
Why are we going to the newspaper, Tim?
I think you have a very naive view on society.
Because the fella that sent us up here was a reporter, a newsman, a writer. Maybe they know him.
And don't forget, he told you to pick up copies of the Sunday Post that would be in all the big cities. And look
Yeah,
for,
he got some kind of code.
Is that the post that's published in Shan?
It's an epitaph.
The Tombstone Epitaph said, look for the Sunday special Sunday edition that's printed in several cities. They probably telegraph at all of these cities and have it printed in local shops. But he said, look in the classifieds, page 13, and anything that says good intentions, starts with good intentions, is his way of saying, hey guys, you might want to take a look at this.
Well, we should take a look tomorrow when that newspaper comes out for sure.
Agreed.
Today's Saturday?
Yep.
I believe it is, yeah.
So
Wait,
after
Padre,
we spend a couple of hours searching around this building for any clues on who ignited said building, I think we should go get a room.
And that certainly makes sense. And we can ask the owner of such a proprietor type person some of the questions we had. Where to find people where. I wonder if there are any prominently marked locations we might visit of that sort.
I think Marv is playing with the sounds.
I am. Were you asking me something?
Yeah, would there be a place that we know of or have seen a thing about,
About
or
what?
a place to stay?
You mean a place to get a
'Cause-
newsstand?
No, a place to stay the night since we've been investigating for a while and we're
Oh,
planning for the night.
yeah, there's hotels and stuff.
I thought we were going to stay in the wagon.
Yeah, your wagon's staked outside of town here a little ways,
We can do that too.
and you might find it a little difficult to get in and out. You probably have to take like this main road.
I thought we set up in an empty lot or something in the Red Lantern town.
There's just I got to reading on this, and there's just not that wouldn't really work. And then these are all like big fancy estates out here, so they probably wouldn't take kindly to you guys setting up.
Oh.
You could probably find a livery and ask the guy if you could just, park the wagons there and keep the mules and the horses. There's going to be several of them.
If we didn't get a place in the Red Lantern district, then the Red Land, yeah, and then I think Timmons would have definitely put everything at the livery, wagons, mules, paid them for a few days, and then
Okay.
Timmons wants to sleep in a hotel. He wants a bath. He wants to get cleaned up. He's not totally uncivilized, but he's got fungus growing in places that he didn't know he had fungus because he's been on a boat for how long?
Well, that's tomorrow night's game.
No, Timmons has got fungus too, but he don't want fungus.
Timmons don't want fungus. Sure. There's hotels.
Somewhere near the burned out building, maybe.
Yeah, what's the closest one?
Unless it's like horrible or something.
What's the closest one like?
How about yeah, here we go. The Jade.
That sounds like it might be a pretty nice place.
You walk in, there's looks like there's a couple of card tables, some games going, some people throwing dice. Um, Probably more upscale than some of the places you guys have stayed. Everybody left
It'd
me.
be sleeping on the dirt. It's better than sleeping on the dirt, right?
Yeah, or it's very much more stable than sleeping on that boat.
Well, that
Or in the
sounds like it
wagon.
didn't work.
Well, how much does a room in this sort of place cost?
Rather upscale. It's $1.50 a night for bath and a room. 2 meals, one in the morning, one in the evening.
The ME plan. Timmons gets a room for sure. He's like, he's $4 for 3 days.
You see this little old innkeeper. He's like, 3 days? What you in town for? What brings you to this fine city?
We're investigating the demise of a society.
The demise
Timmons is trying
of
to
society.
He's trying to talk big. He's failing.
Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And he just turns around, walks off, starts polishing the bar. Tells you your rooms are at the top of the stairs.
Dump bags and stuff, and then take a bath. That's what Timmons is doing. Get cleaned up. Then he might see about some entertainment for later.
Yeah, how much for 3 days? $4? Is that correct?
That's $4.50. $4.50.
I only gave $4, so I got
Yeah,
over
you'll be
hunting.
kicked out halfway
We
through
got
the
a
third
lot of
day.
money.
You'll have cold water bath and no food.
You know the leftovers from the day before, which have been sitting out in the sun for 24 hours?
I'll just give her 3 gold
Are
eagles.
you three gentlemen together?
This place will do for you tonight.
Not
Oh, you're
I'm gonna
four.
need a bath.
not together.
Is that
together,
man
but
with you?
No,
What
no,
man?
I'm gonna need my own place.
sorta.
No, she's.
Yeah, we each want our own room.
Well, you can have your own room, but again, let me ask you: is that man with you? And she points at H.G. Willikers.
Sort of. Why?
This is an establishment that we maintain control here, sir. We can't let things get. How much has he had to drink today?
Good
Everything
question.
he can get his hands on, probably.
That's what I thought. Just keep him out of trouble, please.
He'll be fine.
Hey, now. I'm a paying customer. Pull out his very large wad of cash. Gotta keep it all in a roll.
In your shoe, right?
He's got some nice pockets on his what used to be a nice suit a couple of years ago.
Would you gentlemen be interested in the turn down service?
Absolutely. What's that?
Turn down service.
She just stops and looks at you.
Wait,
Turns and looks
you
at
do
you,
laundry
Axman.
here?
No, thank you.
You don't even know what it is, do you? What is it? I'll take 2 of them.
Brad, are you dressed
Oh
like a
God.
priest? Is Miguel dressed like a priest?
I think he would try to stay a little inconspicuous, so he's got his cloak covering him pretty nice.
I'd imagine he still has that little white collar thing.
Yeah, but not like a super noticeable. Like,
So Timon says, so how can you tell if somebody's a member of one of the triads, the Hushichia Jin?
She says, why would you want to be messing around with them for anyway?
I just want to know so I don't insult the wrong person, you see.
Well,
I hear he's done that in the past.
He's like looking around at the counter. Is there a sign or something?
she kind of pulls you guys in. She says, this must be your first time here.
I
She says, well,
Timon said, yeah.
it's been said that California may end up a Chinese state in the end. So great are the numbers of immigrants from across the Pacific still flooding into the maze. The beacon that calls them from so far away and gives them haven when they arrive is that jade emblem of the northern maze known as Shanpan, and you, my good gentlemen, are standing right in the finest hotel in Shanpan. But be known that this is heavily a Chinese, this is like little China here. It's an inspiration to millions of Asian immigrants to improve their own lot. And she says, Ghost Rock, blah blah blah, tells you the typical stuff. Yeah, the Saichi Jin, she says, which means Family of Deliverance, Mutual Benefit Society, or the Triad. And she said, look, there's triads all over Central and Northern California, and this just happens to be the one that runs Shanfan. And you know, folks, especially government law enforcement agencies back east, consider Shanfan Triad a gang of criminals. Sure, they run the brothels and gambling halls and opium dens. I even pay my tribute for protection. But like big families, sometimes a conflict within the family. You know what I mean? And if that happens, you best just keep your head low.
Yeah, I was just
Can you,
noticing. Yeah, I was
can you
just
send
noticing.
some? Go ahead.
I was going to say I noticed that there was everybody but Marb had their cameras grayed out.
Yeah, yeah. That's for nose picking and stuff, you know. You'll be able to gray your camera out too if you just get a damn camera. Hell, I'll get you a camera. Me and Drake's talked about it before, haven't we? You get him a
And they're
camera.
only $50.
Yeah. Um. All right. Timmons was gonna say something, or Drake was
Oh,
asking.
Timmons is going to say, can I get 2 of those turn down services and somebody come up and scrub my back in the bath? He pulls out some cash.
Genthro says, "Man, I mean, geez, I'd chip in for it." Genthro's in the chat. She says, "Well, certainly, sir, but remember it's a respectable establishment, so try to keep it down." I'll have baths drawn for you, gentlemen.
Oh, don't worry, I ain't that vocal. Drags all of his crap up to a room. Clunk, backpack, all his satchel, his a shotgun, a rifle, pistols, ammo.
So you guys get squared away in your rooms, get baths drawn, all that. You guys getting cleaned up a little bit. Maybe get out on the town.
Well, probably after bathing, Jeb's going to be cleaning his guns.
Okay. Give me a shooting roll. Let's make sure you don't accidentally shoot yourself. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was going to give you a shooting roll.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Talk about double one fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goes
seriously.
off, blows a hole in the floor, and kills somebody in the kitchen down below you.
Oops.
I know 3 incidences in my family where people were cleaning their weapon and it went off. So
Yeah, give me that shooting roll. By golly, we're gonna do it. Yeah, one of our local school teachers here was cleaning his and shot himself in the leg. No problem.
no one got injured in the 3 incidents that I know of, but except for my dad kind of lost his hearing for a little while as both barrels of the double barrel shotgun went off next to his head.
Oh shit.
Blew a hole in the freaking ceiling and out the roof.
It's called a skylight.
It's called a new patch of shingles is what it's called.
I bet that scared the hell out of him.
Scared my mom and sister more. They were in the other room. And
Oh god.
At
he
least they
walked
weren't
through.
upstairs.
They after that he earned the nickname of the Great White Hunter.
Oh. Yeah, I bet he was proud of that. I got a cat meowing in here somewhere. Man, it was 80 degrees here today. Absolutely beautiful.
Same here. Yeah, it got kind of warm here today.
It was almost 90 here.
I'm glad I'm not there. I don't like the hot weather.
It was kind of nice though. I
Oh.
mean, if you're standing in the sun for an hour, it's not nice, but walking around nice and ocean breeze blowing and everything, it was nice.
Make sure you keep your distance.
If they
Usually,
weren't they a member? Wait, she say opium den? You say this to the lady at the desk?
I was behind them while they were talking.
Wait, she say opium den? No, sir, I did not say opium den. Uh, You know,
That's illegal here, isn't it?
just illegal? No, no. But in this
It hurt.
establishment, that's just something we don't really indulge in here, and I'd appreciate it if you kept that to the establishments that cater to such needs.
And what road would that be on?
Nowhere near here, HG.
You probably passed 2 or 3 of them on the way through town.
Don't tell them that, otherwise we won't be able to continue with them.
Is that what you do, HG? Well, you can find me in the opium den when you're ready to leave.
Yeah, assuming that he would want to leave.
Someone's got to go gather information on these people. You know, check out some of their establishments.
So, you guys get all spiffied up. You going out on the town tonight? Are you going to sleep in? You going to hang out here? Or are you going to go out and try to do like HG and have some fun in Red Lantern Town, see what you can find out?
Jeb's probably just going to have a few drinks down at the bar, maybe play a couple of hands of poker.
All right.
I think we can stay in that way, or at least go down there and talk to people.
All right, it's 6 p.m.
Timmons isn't a very social butterfly type of guy, but he is gonna go out and stake out the society building and see if anyone goes in to investigate now that it's cooled off some more. Is there a bar across the street that he can stake out the place or something? He
Sure.
might have a couple drinks.
Sure. There's a bar across the street. You sit there, it's still smoke coming off of some of these piles. But people just walking by like, too bad. They stop, look at it for a second, walk on.
Might shrug.
Well, if he notices any people pointing and laughing, he's gonna follow them. Not at him, at the building.
People go and laugh and burn down structures.
I don't know.
If I followed everybody that pointed and laughed at me, I'd be following everybody all day long.
Yeah, no. So it's probably HG's probably eat, sleep till it gets to be a good bit later at night. It's well in the dark. Stuff all cleaned up. Yeah, wander around the town, have fun. Find some opium, and then probably see if he can't find a gambling establishment that has live fights.
That has knife fights.
Live fights.
Oh, live fights.
She wants to get
It might
savage.
be live knife fights, but yeah.
Make a point of flashing my money around.
All right, anybody else going with HG?
Where is he going again?
Looking
right.
for trouble.
Father Miguel.
Yeah, I'd say that Jeb is probably going to go with him if he sees him sneaking out or something late at night.
Oh, I can't take Cop Face with me down into the gambling den.
Cop face.
Cop face.
You know what?
You do realize that Jeb is a gambler.
HG gets a chip. Cop face.
If you'd like, I would. If you would like, I can leave my badge at the
Oh,
hotel.
Dragon Bait. What's
It'd
up?
probably be smart. People don't take kindly to your
Cop
type.
face. I'm sorry. It just really caught me. Just right. So, Father Miguel, what do you got cooking over there?
While they're doing that, Father Miguel's thinking. He had been living in Shan or outside of it for a while. And he had an old friend here named Rodrigo, who used to be running a little store. somewhere up northern part of Red Lantern District. See, they became friends because they're both Spanish speakers, which isn't too common. But this is an older fellow. He came out here originally to try to make his fortune with the mining. Didn't quite work out. It was a nice little store. Figure if he's still around, he might be able to hook us up with some information.
Okay, Rodrigo. You're going to go visit Rodrigo. Drake, did you AFK?
No, I'm here.
What are you going with Jeb, or what exactly are you doing for the evening? You just going to enjoy the turn down service?
Well, I'm only going to stay across
Ember
the street
Flux, good
watching
evening.
the building until it gets dark, I would think,
Okay.
because I can't be able to see anyways. Then after that, I would probably want to go where Jeb is at, probably. Timmons would.
All right.
And I'm sure he's not going till later, right? Those places don't start up until
Yeah,
8 or
as I
9
said, he was
anyway.
gonna eat, get some sleep until well into the night. Head out.
So
like
Timmons wakes
10,
him up.
11 o'clock.
Hey man, he's like, hey, wake up! It's time to go. Show me how to play
Dragon
poker.
Bait, thanks for the host, buddy.
What you got in this to-go bag? Leftover steak? What's in here? He's smelling your stuff.
I am not getting some of these sounds to play. They're not working. Oh, yeah, they are. Manly men in the tavern. There we go. All right. So let's start with Father Miguel. You obviously want to refrain from hanging out in places like that, I guess. You go to visit Rodrigo. What is it that you're wanting to talk to him about?
Well, if he's been in town here all this time, selling his various goods at his little dry goods shop, I would like to know if he's heard any rumors about what's going on.
Well, you do find him, and he says rumors about what's going on about what? I don't know what you're talking about. What is going on? What is going on that you want to know about?
Have you heard about this Explorer Society? Apparently, the building burned down. They ran afoul of one of them triad groups.
Yes, that is what I heard, but I do not know why.
Have you heard any other rumors about any sort of activity between these triad groups?
Well, there is
Between
always
each
something
other?
going on in the triads. This person does not like this person. They like to pull a knife. They like to cut each other. They like to chop each other with their hand like this. There's always a fight.
Anything in particular lately you've been hearing about? Any particular conflicts?
That is hard to say. There are always conflicts. I tend to stay out of it.
It's
I
probably a
pay
smart.
my tribute. They leave me alone.
It's always a good way to do it.
That's the best way.
And I was also wondering if you could send over a copy of the Tombstone Epitaph when you get it tomorrow. I imagine you would get a copy of it. The copies here.
Oh, I can have it. Where are you staying? Anyway, it is good to have you back in town. Are you here for a while?
At least for a couple of days, yeah. We're staying over at the Jade.
At the Jade, that is a nice place. Are you going to give mass?
Yeah, I will We have some willing participants.
I have a need I might need to confess.
We'll have to take you to the bridge tomorrow.
I have not been to a confession in a while. Okay, I will find you at the Jade. Very good to see you, Padre.
Glad to see you are well and no problems with those in charge people.
No, no, I leave them to their business.
By the way, great accent, Marv.
No, thank you. I guess. I'd imagine there are those who would probably say it was terrible. Uh, my name is
No.
Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
To me, it had the perfect blend of Spanish and a little Asian flair thrown in.
Little of this, little of that. Um. Okay, so that's what he tells you. You guys, you head down. You stop by. You have some drinks outside. Drake Timmons does. You don't really see anything. You just people just like, oh well, place burned down. They walk on. Nobody suspicious hanging around. You go back to the hotel just as HG or just as HG and Hexman
Yeah.
are walking out. So you guys hook up, and the three of you go where? To an opium den?
Gambler's Den.
Oh, we're gonna need some opium too.
A
No.
casino.
Jeb, that wants nothing to do with opium dens.
Oh yeah, that'll be the first stop. After we smoke and take something to go. Now we're gonna go look for some like street fights. I mean, martial arts competitions where one man might die.
No, he means street fights.
Gamble on them.
Do any of these poker halls have like burlesque shows? That would be nice too to catch one of those.
Oh, sure, there's plenty of those. Let me get over here and catch up on what the hell's going on in Discord. China Billy Bob. All right. So you guys, I mean, there's plenty of places you could just there's gambling in your own, down here in the lobby of the hotel, in the bar.
I'm okay with that.
Um.
Oh no, I'm looking for like the seediest place I can.
All right.
What better way to get information on criminals than at a criminal activity, right?
So I guess it's Timmons and Jeb are following HG.
Yeah, so I got a whole bunch of big white people with me.
Because Timmons keeps like saying, "Hey HG, let's go and look. We can stay right here. They got poker right here. Nothing. What kind of den you want? Fighting.
Well,
He's going out the door. Come on."
he's determined to leave, so you guys follow. And you head down here, about a block off of Heavenly Park. You come to a little place, and it seems to be it's not a hotel, it's just a bar, tavern, saloon. And it's pretty hopping place. You look inside, there's a faro table, there's a craps table going, there's a couple of card games, lots of people. It looks to be a hodgepodge too. It's not like really upscale like your place. Um, you see some miners in here, along with some businessmen.
Now, when you say miners, I'm assuming you mean like pickaxe, hitting the dirt.
Yep.
Okay.
Young.
Profession. Yes, not young people.
I just wanted some clarification on that.
Yeah, kids, get out of the town.
Got to get out of the town, man. So what do you do? Sit down to a card game or what?
in the lead, HG.
Yeah, I'll pick some games.
Greetings, Giorgio.
There's a good bunch of it.
Well, I think it's time we figure out how this works.
We'll just flash some money around.
So you're flashing some money around. You're gonna sit down and play some cards, Jeb.
If he sits down at the card table, I'll join him.
There's Texas Hold'em table right here. It's got a couple of seats open. Dealer's just waiting for somebody to sit down.
Timmons is going to sit at a table behind them.
And just watch.
Touch.
Timmons isn't gambling.
No,
He doesn't
he'll
know how-
gamble at the table he's sitting at, but he wants
He
to
doesn't-
watch their back.
Okay.
Or roulette or whatever's behind him. It doesn't have to be a table.
Okay, so this should work. You guys those are your cards. And you got to play the house, okay? And the house, can you see that?
Yes, 5 of diamonds. Jack of hearts. 3 of clubs. Yes.
Now, the house is going to have 2 cards too. How does this, I don't see how I can draw the cards, and you know what? I do know how I can do this.
Make it a dramatic event.
Or just add a NPC to the combat tracker so you can see the cards that are dealt to him.
There we go. Okay, so that's how we'll do it. So I'm going to reshuffle this deck.
None of us are standing on the table, right?
And
We could take the unstable platform off of everybody.
I could. Nobody's aiming. All right, so where's my townsfolk? There he is. So, all right, you get a card. No, Timmons just get a card. Damn it. Reshuffle the deck. All right. HG gets a card. Jeb Hexman gets a card. And townsfolk dealer gets a card. And HG gets a card. Dealer gets a card. Jeb Hexman gets a card. And there's the first card. So there's 3 up.
Yeah.
Anybody want to bet on that?
Oh well.
Jeb won't. He places his
It's
cards
just
face down.
barely even looking and just bounces a couple of chips over to the other.
All right, so that's $1. Put $1 in the pot.
Yeah, Jeb folded.
Jeb folded.
That's an unknown language if it was meant to be.
Can you put the money in the party sheet? That would be kind of.
Apparently, it's a Spanish-speaking gambler man.
Let's see. Can you use the party sheet that way? Let's see. Inventory. I don't see how. Can you drag a gold eagle into the party sheet? Wicked.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. It probably works the same as
No.
5e. All right. So we'll say that there's $1 in the pot, and we'll say that the house sees that dollar. And next card. Ooh. The bet's to you, sir.
I raised it to 5.
Well, if nothing else, HG, you've got a 2 pair.
All right. He sees you.
Sorry if y'all
Jeff,
heard
is that your bread box?
No, that was me messing with the microphone or the headset plug.
Sounded like your bread box.
How do you stand, sir?
I'll call for another 5.
And he'll call you. And he has nothing. Does that show when I?
I couldn't see your cards.
Can you see him now?
No.
I don't think we can see a card of an NPC that's hidden.
Native diamonds?
Unless he's friendly. Can you see the card now?
I
I
can
just
see
saw a
one.
thing pop up with 8 diamonds.
Oh, but you don't see the 2 cards in the hole over here. Okay.
Nope.
All right. That's what I see. So anyway, you won $12. So with that hand, we're gonna say you had a pretty successful first hour here of gambling, HG. And I'm gonna take that 12, and I want you to roll me a D4.
By the way, just so you know, Marv, the
Oh,
gambling skill does have a little bit of information on how to do the
Yeah,
gambling over.
it does, and it's pretty complicated.
It is a little weird.
It was a little weird. And I thought, you know what, we're just gonna play a hand of cards. If you win, it's a good thing. If you lose, it's gonna be a bad night for you. Well, he won. And you play for about an hour, and you have 84 gold pieces. So,
Oh, wait, gold pieces.
or gold eagles. No, I'm sorry, silver dollars. I had the wrong thing in here. So let me see if I can award this directly to H.G. Williker.
I thought gold eagles are the ones that are worth like 5 or
$2.
10,
What the
right?
hell? 20 wounds.
What?
Wow. Why you
You
beating
what
me
was
up?
in your fucking
What the hell did you do?
Just hit me for 84 damage,
What
apparently.
the fuck?
accidentally?
Man, those are
He loaded
Those are
all
some
my
sharp-ass
money
cards.
into a scatter gun and shot me with it.
You know, I bet I can do it this way. Let's see if I can drag it to your inventory tab. And yes, I can. Yay. So not a bad night. You made $84 gambling in an hour. What do you guys want to do while you're here? You looking for some information?
I intend to push up the game, and I was hoping I was going to lose because I'm going to accuse the dealer of cheating on me and cause a huge scene.
Nope. Seems to be a pretty honest, reputable place.
Oh, I didn't say they were going to. I said I was going to accuse them of doing it.
Mm.
While the game's going on, Jeb will be keeping his ears out for any sort of information on the Triad or the Explorers Society. Would you like a notice roll?
I do want a notice roll. You know what you noticed? When you were hanging around the smoldering embers, the remnants, the leftovers of the Explorers Society, and Father Miguel and H.G. Willikers started talking to this guy. Uh,
No, this
Oh, I
was
thought it was
earlier?
just
Willie
him.
Longtail.
Yeah, so I wasn't talking to him. I was over on the other side.
Yeah, Father Miguel was. And where you got a little bit of information. You see him kind of drunk and peeking in the windows out there. I was looking in to see what's going on. You turn around, you see this guy peeking in the windows. It's that same Chinese guy that was all drunk talking to Father Miguel.
Is
And
he?
he picked that guy out with a 7. I mean, they should have been like a 12 or something, right? It's.
Yeah, he's
I'm kidding.
oh, I get it. Never mind.
That's racist, man.
Yeah, this guy looks a little different. Well, he's drunk for one thing. And he's singing the same song he was singing earlier.
Can you give us a brief idea how that sounds, Marv?
What's your I'll make it time for me. Keep me high, saw. Something
Was
like
that
that.
Mr. Miyagi trying to catch a fly?
That was Mr. Miyagi when he was drunk. Except Mr. Miyagi's Japanese.
Japanese.
Maybe when he's drunk, he gets confused.
Now, this person wasn't like trying to get our attention or anything. He was just kind of looking in, right?
Yeah, he's just looking in, what's going on. You see, he kind of turns around and he starts to stumble in the door, and you see the two bouncers, kind of security guys at the door. They immediately stand up and grab him by the shoulders and spin him around and put a boot right in his ass and kick him right back out in the street. He goes tumbling. That's just the Chinese version of H.G. Willikers is all it is.
That's kind of funny, actually.
He says, "Wait a minute." Of course, he doesn't say it in any language that you understand. HG does. HG, you hear him say, you hear this guy and speaking in Chinese. And, I know those guys. I know those guys. Yeah, and Gorgio, I wasn't able to put anything together for Gary Kahn. I think I'm going to end up having to go over and sit with my father for a
I'll
few hours tomorrow and a
alert
couple hours on
Jed
Sunday.
that their friend has come looking for them.
Jeb will turn around and kind of wave at the bouncers to let them through.
Bouncers just look at you and shake their head no.
I tried.
Someone should probably go out and talk to him.
Does Timmons see the commotion?
Probably. You were watching his back. You were kind of paying attention to them. And
Yeah,
I
so I
mean,
see
anybody
them
would
like
have seen the
when
commotion.
I look over. Timmons looks over and recognizes the drunk Chinese guy, and he'll look back, and everyone's like, "Ooh!" So he'll get up and go over there.
But you won't be able to understand them. I mean, maybe we
Timmons
should
is
go
going to
talk
talk
to
to the
him.
bouncers. He's like, "What seemed to be the problem?"
There's no problem as long as he stays out there.
Why can't he come in?
Because he's been in here before.
he got kicked out?
Yes. In short, it's not
Is
a.
it
It's not
because he's
a. It's
drunk,
no. It's
or is
not
it
a.
because he's a thief?
It's not a racist issue because you see, several uh, Chinese
Oh,
guys
I
sitting
didn't.
here
I
playing.
didn't. Timmons didn't assume it was a racial issue. He's like, is it because he's drunk, or is it because he's a thief?
It's because he's a shit disturber.
Oh well, you boys are gonna have your hands full in a minute, anyways. I'm gonna take him outside and get him some tacos or something. Come on, friend. I put my hand around
So
him.
you walk
Let's go
outside
this
this
way.
bar, go up and grab this Chinese guy around the shoulder, and he kind of wobbles around and he looks up at you like this. I'm like a toy,
Taco?
chai.
Hey, girl. I don't know. Let's go to this stand over here. I'll buy you something to eat. Like one of the little stuffer shacks on the street or whatever. He's gonna take him across there and get him some food.
Yeah, HG2. So like you're like, so he nods his head and you walk him over to some street vendor selling who knows what.
Does
Fried
he
lice.
speak English?
Who, this guy?
The street vendor.
Street vendor? Um, yeah, as much as you point at something and they put it on a plate and hand it to you. That's about all the English they speak.
$1? $1. $1. That's all they know.
$1.
So the best of Timmons and stuff. He's gonna have this guy eat and see if the vendor can translate anything. So Timmons gets. He came looking for $1. That's all he knows.
The guy just looks at you, the street vendor. No speak English.
$1.
You want food? $1.
Speak English. $1.
You want the food? $1.
And
You
then
follow me? $1.
Yeah, you want food? Yeah, $1.
Yeah. So that's what Timmons learns because he
You
doesn't
need to
speak
speak
any
loud and
English.
slowly.
Yeah,
And
Timmons
everyone
talks loud to him. You like the food?
Yes, food, $1.
Does he have any like things in his pockets while I'm talking to him?
The food vendor?
No, the guy, the drunk Chinese guy.
Willie Longtam? You
Yeah.
know what? If it's sucky sucky Diablo bombs.
me love you long time. Only $5.
You want me to fluff pillow? Yeah, Timmons paid for the turn down service. Um,
Two of
if
them.
you want to kind of rifle around his pockets a little bit, you see they're full of holes. Man, he's just got holes in his pockets. This guy ain't got nothing.
Well, I don't know. You could have the map to the city and points to a building. Who knows what the guy
Who
could
knows
have?
what the guy's got? Um, no, Willie Longtamp's just your basic H.G. Willikers down on his luck.
So when he's like in the middle of his food, I'll leave and go back inside. And when I come in, I'll tell the guards that he shouldn't come back. He's not going to come back today, anyways.
Who's not coming back? You're taking this guy
Willie.
with you?
No, the drunk Chinese guy doesn't. I leave him at the like halfway through his taco or whatever
You
it is.
just leave
I
him
just
there
get
and
up
walk
and
back.
yeah, he's probably gonna pass out any minute, so he's good. And I give the other lady an extra $1.
Everything all right out there, Timmons?
Yeah, I took care of that Chinese man.
Wait, what do you mean by took care of?
Don't worry, he ain't gonna bother nobody for a while.
Timmons, did you kill him?
What was I supposed to do with him?
Did you really kill him, Timmons?
It's either I kill him or I get him all fat and happy and he passes out at some stuffer shack across the street.
Well, hopefully it's the latter and not the former. Because I'd hate to arrest you, Timmons. I like you.
Well, then you guys need to be a little more specific on what you need done.
Well, you're the one that said you took care of him.
I did. You assumed I killed him.
No, I didn't assume. I just thought that's what you meant.
Maybe I need to look up the word assume then.
Maybe I do too.
The word is.
Do we have each other's hat on again? He looks up at his hat.
You guys find as you go through the evening, uh, gambling, having drinks, maybe going to another place. Uh, you don't hear any talk about anything to do with, casual conversation that you have with people. Nobody seems to know anything about the Explorer Society. But you do hear a name that the Chinese guy had mentioned to Father Miguel earlier, and that was
The Marshal.
the only person who might know is long-haired Tony.
Where could he be found?
At his office, and he keeps his office right here in Red Lantern Town, which seems to be the place where he's needed the most.
Oh, we should go look him up in the morning.
Fights. HG, you were looking for maybe fight.
Yeah.
And you hear that, well, first of all, give me a streetwise roll. We gotta see if you hear anything. Hmm. Nope, no fights around here, mister. Which you could check again later if you want. Everybody was kung fu fighting. I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. Um, we'll take 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, everybody.
That
That
should be
sound
enough
good?
time to finish our kung fu fighting.
Yep, everybody big kung fu fighting. We're gonna take about 10
I
minutes.
forgot about fighting.
Diablo, Bob's, Finster, Gorgio, who else out there? Dragon Bait. Don't go any place. We will be right back. I'll turn some music on for y'all, so stick around. We're back. Back in the New York groove. Cool. Okay, so yeah, as far as fights go, fighting hall, something like that.
I think that's what HG wanted.
Yep, but he didn't hear of anything. Not on this particular evening.
Well, it's probably that by now.
Do what?
I said it's probably getting a little late by now, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys have been out for a couple hours. It's not too late though. Timmons? Give me a notice
I didn't
roll.
do it.
Okay. So as you guys kind of make your way out of this little bar, tavern, saloon, you make your way out and start to kind of walk back. HG's probably good and toasty, but he doesn't seem any worse for wear. He's about normal. Um, you stop and you're looking in these shops, and I mean, there's some pretty nice establishments here. At Timmins, you kind of see something out of the corner of your eye, and you look to the left, and you look back down the street from the direction you were coming, and you see that Willie Longtam kind of leaning up against the wall. And when you turn around and look at him, he just kind of starts looking back down to the ground.
I guess he
think our
doesn't want to be.
friend, I think our friend's digested his taco.
Well, he notices that you're looking at him, and he kind of looks up at you and he smiles.
Timmons
Starts
waves at him, waves
starts
him over.
walking up your direction, and he says, "Ah, but I come and my tea." Something like that.
Timmons said, $1.
He looks at you kind of funny, holds his hand out. $1?
I give him $1. Here you go. $1 silver.
Me love you long time.
Then he's like, Timmons points to his boots and he's got a big blob of cow poop on it. He's like, clean.
He looks at you and he jabbers something else in Chinese. And he turns around, he bows to you like this, and then he kind of stumbles off and bounces off down the walls. Walks back the direction he came from.
We need to get us some spy-like devices that we could put in the silver dollars. See where he goes.
This is long before GPS tracking.
Maybe HG is the original inventor of it.
Some of you guys can make your cards like kill people, so having something that you could track might not be that far a stretch.
Did the HG use himself as a mortar?
If it smells like ghost rock, HG could track it.
Or free
See?
liquor?
Well, I'll say hunch is probably more useful in that aspect. It kind of seems like Jeb's line of work. I'll burn them all up once we find them.
Wait, burn all what up?
I don't know, whatever it is we're tracking down. Blow it up. Although I do have might be able to do something.
You guys want to follow him?
He seems harmless.
That's 3 times we ran into the same fella. The same Chinese fella in this big old city. 3 times. Think that's coincidence?
He just got $1 off of you.
You sure that's not why he's following you around? Because you gave him money?
And I fed him too.
So yeah, basically he's Timmons' pet now.
He's about a block and a half away, and you see him. He takes a right, starts to walk into this bar down the street, and then pretty soon you see him shoved right back out the door, just like the first one he tried. But he just picks himself up, walks along.
Goes to the next one.
He should really try to go in the back, though. Somebody need to teach him some tricks.
Well, learn Chinese and you can do that.
I learned one word.
$1?
Dollar.
Best friend.
Teal.
What about teal?
That's
Do we see the marshal's office anywhere?
Oh, you could ask around. They could point you in the right direction. Wouldn't be a problem finding it.
So
Probably be
Tim
best
wants to find the marshal's office in the city morgue.
And the city morgue?
Yep.
Did they even have morgues back in this day?
Sure.
They took dead people somewhere.
Might not be technically be a morgue, but I mean, there's got to be something equivalent.
They would have an undertaker
Morgue,
would have taken them
mortuary,
and,
funeral home.
right. So you ask around. Let me tell you a few other things you're going to see in San Francisco here. Lots of Chinese, of course. And I thought there was a picture of. Damn it! I know there's a picture of this in here. Rail workers. A lot of Chinese rail workers as well.
Are they building building tracks nearby? Or lane tracks, rather?
Yep, and so if you ask around about the railroad and these railroad guys that you see, you do see the Union Blue as some of their uniforms. If you ask around as you're playing cards and whatnot, milling about, what do they call that, Drake? That conniving.
Not conniving.
Uh,
I know what you're talking about.
it's in Call of the Deep on his Tuesday night game.
Oh, carousing?
Carousing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're out carousing tonight, and some of the things you find out is, yeah, there's actually two rail lines here. One is the Iron Dragon Railroad, which is
Wait,
Chinese owned.
Didn't one of the Native Americans say something about a Iron Dragon? Or was he talking about the stuff underground?
I don't know. They're gone now. They couldn't hang with you guys. You white men are crazy. But so you find out there are two. This is kind of the western end of the. Let's see here. The Denver Pacific, which is owned by the. I think that is owned by the Union States of America, the United States. The Union
What
Blue.
is the rail company from New Orleans?
The one from New Orleans, that's Bayou Vermilion.
Yeah,
Thank you.
them. That's who we ran into.
Yeah. And then you got Dixie Rails too, which is a Confederate States-owned railroad. All those railroads were trying to come together down there in Los Angeles when the big battle happened. But anyway, if you look at this map, you can see this railroad coming out of the north and then goes on south down to about here to Dragon's Breath. That's the Iron Dragon. and then the Denver Pacific comes in from the east here, and they both head into Shan. So there you have it. That's some other information that you pick up. Okay, where were we? What were we doing?
Well, other than finding the marshal's location, we were going to go back. We were going to go back to the hotel and see the marshal in the morning.
The mortuary too.
Oh yeah, or undertaker, whatever the hell it is at this time.
If there's
Good
any
question.
lights on there, Timmons wants to go over to it.
Why?
I got some questions.
Can't it wait for the morning?
There's some funeral parlors, but none of them have any lights on right now. It's 9 o'clock at night.
Well, he's not going to wake anyone up.
Okay, but you do get to the marshal's office, the sheriff, and there is a light on in there.
I think we should return in the morning when we have everybody with us. But at least now we know where he is.
Yeah, let's put it nice too. Look, the top windows ain't barred.
Is it the kind of thing where you should make an appointment?
I don't.
Yeah, the marshal's
I don't
office
think
is
so.
right up here. North end of town up there. So you guys go back to the Jade?
Yep.
All right. What do you do? It's now, we'll call it 10 o'clock. You guys going to pass the night or?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right.
Get some good hard sleep in a nice comfortable bed. Sounds great.
Yeah, Jeb probably
Yeah,
passes
he's
out.
on move.
Jeb probably passes out as soon as his head hits the pillow.
Timmons comes running back out of his room. Somebody been in my room. They messed with my blankets. He's got his gun drawn.
Go back to sleep, Timmons.
It's town's starting to hustle. It's 6 in the morning. Time's ticking by. Tick tick tick. 6:30. Tick tick tick. Time's ticking by. 7 a.m. You can hear people eating downstairs. You sleeping? Still sleeping? Everybody still in bed? 7 a.m. 7:15. 7:30.
What
My sleep.
what is it to wake up in the morning?
Yeah, I think you have to do like a notice roll at like -2 or -4 or something to see if you wake up.
Timmons does, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll say it's 8 a.m. On Saturday.
Sunday. It's supposed to be Sunday because Saturday was yesterday.
Yes, it is supposed to be there. Thank you,
Oh,
Minnow.
great work. Groundhog Day.
What was the song in that one that kept repeating every day? I can't remember. He'd always wake up to the same damn song.
Yep, with his radio alarm clock playing the same song.
Yeah, but what was the song? The only one that comes to mind is in that Supernatural episode that was the same sort of thing.
I got you, babe.
Was it?
Na 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 na. Hey, we say we were young and we don't know. That was the same guys that were talking all the time, though. You remember?
Killing this. All right, so what are you doing on this day?
Well, I think we should go on down to the marshal, speak with him, and I think Padre said something about holding some sort of service this morning.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. My friend Rodrigo at least is coming over, and he might tell some of his neighbors. We can go talk to the marshal. Maybe he wants to join in. Or at the very least, maybe he knows what is going on. And my friend was going to send over a copy of that newspaper you mentioned.
Oh, yeah? You should go up to the front desk and ask him about it.
I will tell them to be expecting his coming soon with the paper.
Cool. So they're keeping an eye out for your copy of the paper coming from Rodrigo. You guys make your way back to the marshal's office? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yep.
All right. Close some windows, close some more windows, and then close these windows, and here we are. All right, so you guys get back to this. It's a pretty nice building. Of course, Red Lantern Town's, for the most part, pretty decent looking. Nice paint on everything. Tile roofs. Pretty nice place. You come to the marshal's office, and you walk in, and he's in here, got a couple of his deputies.
Quick
Long-haired
question.
Tony. Yeah,
One of us did actually go in there and wake up Timmons, right?
I'm assuming.
Get up, you lazy git.
What? It ain't noon, is it?
The early bird catches the worm. Come on, Timmons.
I'll be right out. No worries.
Right now, Timmons.
You gotta drag him out by his foot.
Yeah, I'll rip the covers off of him and then grab one ankle and just drag him out of the bed until his head goes clunk on
Bonk.
the wooden floor.
He's like, I'm up.
Oh, I wish I had my
Okay.
soundboards open.
So we make it down to the marshal. Long-haired Tony. What's he? Is he the Chinaman that's got
Well,
long
you
hair?
walk in, and
long hair.
you see a long-haired Tony. He's in his office when you come calling. He sits back in his chair, boots up on the desk, whittling what looks to be like a duck, kind of whittling this duck out of this piece of wood.
Oh, I thought he was carving a gun. I was going to say, I'm not sure that's going to work.
No, and a couple of deputies sitting in here with him. And Tony looks, he's definitely Chinese, but
The picture kind of makes him look Indian, sort of.
yeah, but no, he's Chinese, but he's probably got some European blood in him somewhere. And his two deputies, or three deputies, I'm sorry, are definitely Chinese.
Good morning, Marshal.
And in very clear English, he says, "And good morning to you."
Jeb walks up and offers his hand to shake his hand and introduces himself. He actually introduces himself as Sheriff Jeb Heck from his last location was Denver, I believe it was. So he'll tell him that.
The sheriff from Denver. He just keeps on whittling. Very nice to meet you.
This is a lovely town you have here.
Well, thank you. It's not my town, but I think you all the same.
Well, your town, meaning the one you keep safe, etc.
See, I'm trying to find how he would introduce himself, and I can't seem to find his name. His real name.
Long haired Tony. Oh.
Yeah, I know where I can get that at. Hang on just a second. Hang on. He says, I am Wong Cha Sang. The folks around here call me long-haired Tony.
Yeah, Tony sounds a lot easier to say.
Either way. What brings you to our fair city,
Well,
Sheriff Jed?
we were coming into town to meet up with somebody at the Explorers Society. Well, when we got here, the place was burned down. I was just wondering if you knew anything about it, anybody survived, where we might find shoot, what was his name? The guy at the society.
Mars.
Captain? You talking about the captain?
Yes, Smythe something or another.
His name is Captain Roderick Pennington Smythe.
That's
Timmons
it.
is looking on his hand. It's a little smeared, but I can still read it.
You mean Timmons can read?
When I write it.
And just how does Roderick Pennington Smythe look written out in Timmons' hand?
Probably like
it looks like a tribal tattoo around the whole wrist and up his arm a little.
Well, you say
Scribbled
this
out.
name to him, and he smiles and stops whittling for a second, and just kind of lays the stick and the knife in his lap, and he looks at you and he says, the Explorer Society. Their lodge burnt down, I hear. I don't know how. The auspicious League of Firefighting Brethren tried to put it out, but buildings around here burned fast. I don't think anyone was killed. Oh, most left town. I think some moved over to Sunrise House.
Sunrise House? Where can I find that?
Oh, it's a block south, 2 blocks east. It's kind of off the main drag. It's a nice place, though.
We will search there. And my compatriot here, Padre Miguel, wanted to ask you something. And Jeb kind of takes his hand, puts it on Miguel's back, and kind of pushes him forward a little bit.
Hola, Marshal.
What do you want to see if you know anything about?
What the Sunrise House is.
The Sunrise House? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Asus something just guess I got a driver issue. Make sure I'm still streaming. Yep, we're still streaming. Yeah, give me a streetwise roll.
And actually, Brad, I was meaning like asking him to join the service or confession or whatever you were doing.
Well, yeah, but I also whispered if I could do a roll, see if I know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, you've not heard of the place before. But
I don't know much about it.
But he tells you that it's just a hotel. It's a block south, 2 blocks east. Nice hotel. It's off the beaten path. Quiet.
It does kind of sound like a whorehouse, doesn't
Not the House of the Rising Sun.
it?
But Sheriff, or Marshal, we were going to have a bit of a religious service if you or any of your deputies wanted to attend later.
Oh,
We're going to keep it
thunder.
all quiet, We don't want to upset anyone nearby.
I appreciate that, Father. But I'm sorry. We do not worship God in the same way.
Well, that is mighty all right, because you seem like a nice individual, and you are keeping law and order in this town, much like my friend the sheriff used to do.
Tell me, Father, do you plan on setting up services in our city?
Well, for now, it is just this one time while we are in town, and I ran into an old friend of mine, but who knows what the future might hold? It depends on what happens here with this our associate here, Mr. Smith.
Says, well, enjoy your stay.
Hey,
Thank you
Marshall.
very much.
Yeah.
Hey, Marshall, if you need our help for anything, let us know. We'll be at the Jade for a few days.
Oh, I appreciate the kind offer. I do. We should be able to keep things in hand, but I'll remember it if need be.
By the way, your carving's coming along very nicely.
Yeah, that's a
Thank
nice looking cat you got there.
Timmons, don't be rude.
you. He just kind of chuckles. Oh, you have a sense of humor. I like that.
So
Is there anything else I can
I'm
do for you,
looking
gentlemen?
to extend my business license out here. Who do I need to see about taking care of that?
I could probably help you out with that. What is it that you are wishing to do? What profession are
Oh,
you in, sir?
I'm the president and CEO of the Devil's Posse Detective Agency out of St. Louis.
And Yazoo Inc.
I don't know what he's talking about.
He kind of
We do some catering on the side though.
smiles a little bit and he looks at you and he says, "And is it a profitable business?"
So far, we've made 278 silver dollars.
You've made $278 here in Shanfan.
Oh no, we just
Um,
got here yesterday.
total ever.
Oh, total, ever. Well, you are more than welcome, Shanfan. We keep open doors here. And he says there are some fees, some business licenses that must be obtained. And of course, and he looks around at all of you guys and he says, this business will be located in Red Lantern Town. I am to assume, would it not?
It,
That's what I thought.
presumably,
What was the question? I kind of missed it.
Of course, it will be in Red Lantern Town. That is where sort of business tends to be, from what I understand.
Yes, I'm sure you gentlemen will be welcome in here in Red Lantern Town. If you decide to set up your business, I'll be around to see you. Is there anything else I can do for you, gentlemen? As you can see, I'm very busy.
so how secure does this place look?
The sheriff's office?
Yeah. Like,
Uh,
is there like a lot of cells and is there a bunch of people? Is it big or?
this doesn't appear to be a jail. It appears to be just a law office. Now, you don't
I
know.
would
There's
imagine.
there's a door that goes back, back into the back of the building. You don't know what's back there, but
Well, I would imagine that jail cells are probably not too terribly far from the law offices.
probably not.
Well, is the building big? I mean, does it look like it
Yeah,
goes like 3 blocks that way,
it's
like
a
the
good sized
Pentagon,
building.
or
It's a good sized building. It goes.
so?
It's
And
not
there's
three
just a little
blocks, but
office up front.
yeah,
So it could house all kinds of stuff. Okay, cool.
yeah.
So we'll go that way when we leave.
Out the back.
Sure.
I
mean,
I'm
like, maybe there's a building for rent back here we can look for our business. Be nice to be close to the marshal.
As soon as you start that direction, 2 of the 3 deputies stand up between you and the entry to that hallway.
No, I'm talking about outside
Oh.
when we leave.
Oh, when you leave.
Not in the building. He's not going
Okay,
past inspector.
that's not how I heard it either.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
sorry.
you.
I
I
meant-
thought you were telling the marshal you were going to walk out the back of his building here.
Yeah, I was very confident that won't get us shot.
I mean, that's what he first looks like. He's like, and then he looks out the window, and then he goes outside. He's like, "Hey, we can look back here. There might be something for rent." He's looking in the window again. Come on, fellas.
Yeah. So you guys got the Sunrise House, or you can go back and see if your paper has arrived yet. Any of that.
We could perhaps stop at the Sunrise House on the way back.
The Sunrise House
Yeah,
is probably it's between you and your. It's a couple blocks to the east, but it's it's probably better to go by there now than.
Just in case we need to make some sort of arrangements to speak with people later, it would be good to stop along the way.
Also looking for one of the funeral home deals.
Why is Timmons so interested in funeral homes and such?
You're not sure. Do you ask Timmons?
Yes, I'm going to ask Timmons, why are you looking for a funeral?
Well, if somebody died in the fire, then the funeral home people are going to know about it.
Not necessarily, because last night the embers were still hot. They couldn't have gone in there and searched for bodies.
Which funeral home is supposed to get the bodies when they find them? We got to start with somebody.
Well, didn't Marshall say he didn't think anyone had been killed during that? So there might not be a body. But we could
He said
speak with
he didn't think no one got killed. That's exactly what he said. He didn't think because no one's been in there to find the bodies. But if they do find the body, it'd be kind of nice to know where they're going.
Oh, well, maybe we can go to this Sunrise House. If the people from the Explorer Society went there, then they would know where the bodies would be sent because the friends would be making the arrangements, right?
Good thinking.
Well, we didn't know where that was at until just now.
True. So to the Sunrise House, or House of the Sunrise. It's a whorehouse, Dan.
I do hope this is not a house of ill repute because it does kind of sound that way.
It really does.
I could deal with some ill reputedness.
So
Jeb's going to kind of smack the back of Timmons' head.
It's been a while for you too.
I don't need to pay for it.
Pfft.
Well, Timmons wouldn't either if we could find the funeral home.
He
Wait,
said
what?
Tab.
That was what HG said.
well, funeral homes. You're able to find a couple.
So yeah, that's what we're just gonna check is if somebody was gonna find a body and it has to get buried or whatever, which funeral home would be in charge of the whatever the place is called that burned down?
Well, you talk to the first funeral home director you come to, I guess. You ask him these questions. You know, He looks at you and he goes, "Well, it depends on how quickly we can get there. First come, first serve."
So y'all are kind of like vultures?
Well, isn't that quite the pun? Taking care of the dead as we do. You're a silly man.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been called silly before.
Could I interest you gentlemen in final resting accommodations?
No thank you, not today.
Timmons like looks over his shoulder in the back and says, "That's kind of creepy. We already died once. We don't need no place like this."
You already died once. What? You are a
Shut up,
silly one,
Timmons.
aren't you? He looks at you guys and he says, "Here," and he hands each one of you guys here's my calling card. Do
It's a
call on
pamphlet.
me. Well, should any of you need call on me if your friends need yes, you know what I mean.
We will keep that in mind.
If you die burning, that's a horrible way to go. Horrible way to go. Are you sure, sir? Have you not made arrangements yet?
Well, technically, I've already been buried once,
He's not
so.
looking at you. He's looking at HG. You see him. He's got this 6.5 foot long yardstick, and he walks up and stands it up beside him.
Oh, sir, I assure you, I intend to go out with a bang.
Hmm,
There have been arrangements.
very good.
Glance over at Jeb, who's frequently standing next to him in combat, and wink.
So, do you guys also ask him about, the fire and are there any bodies? And if you do, he tells you no, that neither he or the other funeral home up here uh, retrieved any bodies from the waste. Everybody got out as far as he knows. Because believe you me, I was down there as quickly as I could, but lo and behold, there would be nothing for me to do. No work on that day. No work on that day. Are you sure? Look at these fine selections of boxes that we have right over here. And
Well,
for
that is fine
cremation,
Woodbury.
he looks at you, H.G. Willikers, for cremation, and you see some clay urns.
So Timmons says, "So I'd like to make a business arrangement with you."
You are interested in buying something?
I'm
I am all
interested
ears.
in hiring your services for collecting dead things.
Sir,
Her?
I'm not certain I know what you're talking about.
Don't you pick up bodies?
I do.
He looks around. Put them in boxes?
Do you have a body that needs picked up?
Not just yet, but I've been with these fellas for a while. There's usually some dead bodies around when we get done doing our stuff.
You see him, he just kind of starts backing up away from you. You gentlemen have a very nice day.
Well, now you've gone and scared them, Timmons.
That's usually the case when you guys let me talk.
Hey, you're the one that wanted to come here, not us.
It would be a good idea to have somebody pick up our dead bodies, though, wouldn't it?
I don't know, it might be kind of creepy.
What do you mean? That's what they do. Look, they got a wagon, they got freaking boxes, they got shovels. Look at all this stuff.
So are you saying that it might have been that you might want to tuck his business card away in case you need it later?
Timmons has got a little flip out Rolodex. I'm going to put it right underneath the marshal's card.
All right, so
Fucking wow.
So we go to the Sun Boner place.
The Sun Boner. Sunrise House. Yes, you go to
The
Sunrise.
House of the Rising Sun. And it's pretty much just like right around the corner and down the street, right?
Yeah, the
So about a
the
3-block
keep
walk.
is Mr. Foley from Three's Company. That's what he looks like. Can you pull that accent off?
Wasn't that Don Knotts?
Yeah.
No, I can't do Don Knotts. Well, Andy.
But Asian.
An Asian Don Knotts. Hi. No.
Honestly, I can't even think of how he sounds at the moment.
Don Knotts was hilarious, man. The Apple Dumpling Gang. Tim Conway. Oh, Tim Conway was great. Okay, so you guys make your way there. And you get there. I guess you ask the desk clerk. And she looks over across the lounge in the front of this hotel. And she says, Captain Pennington Smythe is not with us. But Mr. Dillinger is.
He didn't die in the fire, did he? We heard about that. Such a tragedy.
No, I do not believe so. He was here yesterday, but I've not seen him today.
Well, perhaps you can give him a message when he comes back to meet us at the Jade.
And she points to back in the corner. You see, a pretty finely dressed gentleman. It looks like he's reading a copy of the Tombstone Epitaph, Sunday edition. And there are 5 guys. They, no doubt, hired gunmen standing around him. And she tells you that, other than Mr. Dillinger and Captain Pennington Smythe, those are the only 2 members of the Explorers Society that were here in Shanfan at the time. As far as I know, everyone escaped the fire. But Mr.
Oh, that's
Dillinger's
good.
over there. Maybe he knows where Captain Pennington Smythe is.
Was this a man or a woman that we were speaking to?
Yes. Their name is Pat.
Mm.
Pat.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Walk over to Derringer and introduce ourselves.
Dillinger.
Mm.
Derringer.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, Dillinger.
Dillinger, whatever, close enough.
Yeah, and evidently this guy is says longtime Deadlands marshals may remember Dillinger from the Hucksters and Hexes adventure. Abracadabra.
Now you just said it.
And an Arab cadaver.
You just did it too.
Dillinger?
You called him Dillinger.
He is Dillinger.
That's what I called him, and you corrected me.
No, you said
You said
Derringer.
Derringer. This
No, I
was an
said
apple.
Dillinger.
No, Brad.
Derringer.
Rewind it. We got to record it.
I'm the sheriff. I would like to speak to Mr. Derringer.
He said, what ho?
He's a British sob, huh?
You've done that shit from around these parts.
You start back that direction, and these 5 guys kind of take notice of you, and one of them steps up. What can I help you with?
We'd like to talk to Mr. Dilling.
Mr. Dillinger. And you say this, Dillinger, and when you do, this guy in the back looks up from his paper, kind of flips his paper over backwards, so he can see over it. What is it? What can I help you with?
Yes, we were told to seek out Paddington Smythe, and the pad up at the front thought you might know where he is.
He looks at these guys and he kind of nods his head, and they motion you on back into the back of the lounge here. This little table he's sitting at.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Timmons sits down next to him.
He's kind of happy to see the group. He invites you for some tea. Would you like some tea? I've got some Earl Grey.
Is it
He was
hot?
pretty good cookies.
It's fresh, I'm telling you, it's nice and hot. He's thin, elderly man, wearing a black suit. Got a dark blue ascot.
I am totally calling him Fred now.
Yeah. He's got your ascot there, Brad. Propped up beside him is a black...
I said Fred.
Oh, I thought you said Brad. Propped up beside him is a black cane with a silver dragon head. And he smiles at you and offers you tea.
Well, thank you.
I'm sorry,
Jeb graciously accepts.
you were looking for Captain Pennington Smythe.
Indeed.
I'm afraid the good captain's in some trouble.
Oh, that's not good. I'm guessing it has something to do with the Explorer Society burning down, right?
He looks over your shoulder again like he's a little nervous. He says,
Jeb,
yeah?
Jeb will flash him his badge and, let him know that he's, a lawman of sorts anyway. So.
Did long-haired Tony send you here?
Oh, no. We did meet with him briefly. Nice fellow.
Timon will flash the ring.
The ring.
The ring that Lacey gave us.
That's who it was, yeah.
Or
Lacey,
society ring.
Lacey sent us.
I don't think he gave you a ring, did he?
Tell
I
him
don't
Lacey sent you and relate. Oh, it says. Tell him Lacey sent you and relate everything you've seen in the last few weeks. Show them this ring, and they
Okay.
might turn the other way while you
Oh
scamper
no,
out.
that's if you get into the Explorer Society. Yeah. If they let you in the Explorer Society, that a ring from them.
Oh, it
get
does
you,
say
yeah.
that if you join the society and get your ring, head up to Shanfat. Well, Timmons made one in the last town he was in. Might not
Bullshit.
be exact, but it's close.
He kind of laughs and he said, well, how is the old boy doing? And he's talking about Lacey.
He was still alive last we left him.
Yes, I always look forward to his weekly column.
Is that the epitaph?
I haven't gotten to it yet, and he folds the epitaph down and kind of sits it on the table beside him.
We haven't seen the epitaph today either.
So he sent you here to find Captain Pennington Smythe, and I'm afraid Captain Pennington Smythe is in some trouble. The triad that runs this city wants something from us, something we absolutely cannot allow them to have. They tried to terrorize us by burning down our lodge yesterday. We moved here to the Sunrise House, but it seems to have more spies than the agency.
What is it that they want?
Well, this morning, the captain went out to hide the object in question, but didn't return. I've hired a few guards to protect me, as you can see, but I honestly have little hope they could resist anyone seriously invested in attacking. And he kind of looks at him, and you look at these guys, and they're kind of, lackadaisical, kind of sitting around, chewing on their fingernails and not really paying much attention.
I do hope you're not paying them too much.
And they certainly aren't of the caliber required to rescue the captain from whatever has befallen him. I'm really quite at a loss at this point. Might you be interested in helping?
So the camera pans from the guys cleaning their nails, not really paying attention, over the Timmons, and he's cleaning his nails, not really paying attention. He's like, "What?"
Cow pie spitting.
What was it that
Holy
he was
shit, roll
trying
for
to
fun.
hide?
Cow pie spitting. Ugh.
And I imagine you know where he was headed at the time.
Whatever it is, it sounds important.
We for high.
Let's
Look
see.
at us. I assure you that you can trust us.
Dillinger says, he's a little rattled and a bit guilt-ridden. He'd happily give the Triad most anything they wanted except that which they have requested, which he knows is an object of pure evil. And he tells you that
I see you all have an object of pure evil. That is not the kind of thing you should be playing with.
he says yes, and I'm afraid that Captain Pennington Smythe went out. See, what does he tell you? Here we go. Went out this morning and cheered 300 biddies from Joey. Roll for fun. Thank you, Joey. You guys
Hey,
aren't. You're not streaming tonight? Odyssey of the Dragon Lords?
That's Tuesday.
I thought they did that on Thursdays too.
I don't think so.
Tuesday
no,
night.
his Odyssey game is Tuesday. I don't know if he has any other games. I'm sure he does.
Yeah, I watched the. I was watching them down in this one part where there were a bunch of goatlings and stuff down there, and I really, when I put all that together, I'm like, this is going to be fun to run. I want to run that adventure for you guys. I really do. It's cool. So I think he tells you that, Captain Pennington Smythe went out this morning to hide this item, and he hasn't come back. He says Big Ears Tam, he's the leader of the Shan Triad. He's almost certainly the one who took the captain. His home is on the ever triumphant trail, the main road leading north out of Shanfan. He says, I'm not sure you can just walk up and demand to talk to him, though, and I wouldn't try breaking in either. Tam has more than just thugs guarding his grounds. Might be best to do a little legwork first. See if those in the street have heard
What?
of the captain's abduction.
Hold on, Padre. What was the drunk Chinaman that we spoke with yesterday? What was his name?
$1.
I do not recall. I just spoke to him for a moment. But I think you mentioned you talked to him again.
Yeah, we saw him a couple times later last night.
Maybe
It was something like that, but it wasn't no big E's. That guy didn't have no E, did he?
It was like Willie something Tim.
Willie Long
Or
Tam.
Tam? Not the same
Willie
person.
Long Tam.
maybe
Could
they
be.
are brothers.
It might be his brother.
Or maybe an uncle. If it seemed like an old drunk man.
Dillinger, do you know of a Willie Tam?
I'm afraid I do not.
Okay, so not the same Tam.
Would not be. I don't think you would ever find this gentleman, and I use that term lightly, but I don't believe you'd ever find him drunk on the streets and begging for $1.
Unless it's some sort of cover.
No,
Because he did
no.
seem kind of suspicious
That was
following
good,
us around.
We're talking about the man who runs the entire city of Shan.
I mean, haven't you
Throw
ever heard
one
of...
drunk guy at us, Marb, and we're paranoid for life.
I know, right?
So you guys asked about the artifact. He says it's a vile thing from the deserts of Arabia called the amulet of the amulet of Rahashamir, and I knew I'd have trouble with that. Rahashamir. Legends claim it can bring back the dead with incredible power, but only if the deceased had the blackest of hearts. I realize you may not believe in such things, but I assure you its powers are real. The Triad must be looking to raise some fiend from the depths of hell, and I'm afraid that's something we cannot allow. I don't know how much you know about the Far East, but they've had some terrible wars there. Americans think their civil war's bad, but the recent Taiping rebellion in China claimed over 20 million lives. These people do not muck about, and I have no intention of aiding them should they be intent on repeating such madness here.
Yeah, I've met one of these things from hell. Not a nice bunch of folks.
And he goes on to tell you that this amulet said that they were trying to destroy it. It's already brought him great pain and a bad leg, and he says, I shudder to think what harm it could cause the next time it's allowed to work its foul magic.
Of course, I don't think any of us really have a black heart.
We know a couple that are back on that Big M Ranch just roaming around on their horses. Maybe we could find them up and bring them back if they die.
What?
This is certainly something we should deal with, this evil amulet.
Yeah, bringing people back from the dead is not a good idea. You're messing with some very powerful stuff. Very dangerous stuff.
That is the power of the Lord, and he reserves it for the special people. Nice sort of evil fellow who runs across a fancy necklace.
Naked? He's naked.
What?
I thought I heard him say something about running across the fence naked.
No,
I'm not
that
sure
was
what
one
he
with
said.
a fancy necklace.
Oh, fancy necklace. I thought you said across the fence naked.
Well, I'm not
Shit.
sure that he prefers to do that either. You know, you need to have some humility, and also if you could stop waving that around in public, polite society would appreciate it.
Waving what around?
Anything that you might be waving when you're not wearing the pants.
Oh. Father, I'm surprised to see one of your profession in town. Has the city decided to lighten their stance on the Western beliefs?
Well, they seem to be okay as long as you're not too loud about things and you keep to yourself. Stay away from most of the places. We're just here for now, but yeah.
Tell me, what do you know of the Marshal? There's something that he said that just struck me as very odd.
What did he say?
Damn it, now I can't even remember. He said it was an interesting way to put that. I don't remember exactly what he said, damn it.
So he says, I'll tell you what I know about the sheriff, about the marshal. He isn't exactly what you'd call a good-looking man with pockmarked features and close-set beady eyes. Nonetheless, he is a powerful man, and that makes him popular with the ladies. When he's riled, long-haired Tony can be one crazy, violent son of a bitch. But as long as you're minding your own business, long-haired Tony will be sweet as sweet to you as cherry pie.
So he's a honorable lawman.
Yeah, I think he was born here in California. His mother's Chinese. His father, I believe, was American. He's, you know, a figurehead, like the mayor to many towns. They're good for kissing babies and cutting ribbons. But the real law,
Is the triad.
and that is why I was telling you that I don't believe you'll just be able to walk right in there into Bigger's Tam's estate.
Well, that's why we have HG here. He'll find a way in.
Hopefully one that is a bit inconspicuous. I did see
Preferably,
what he did with that ship.
yeah, preferably, stealthily, but
Let's see, what else can he tell you? He can tell you about the captain. Captain Roderick Pennington Smythe. He served with distinction in most of Her Majesty's wars. He battled the Russians in the Crimea and fought alongside Gordon in China, escaping the latter only at his general's behest. Captain Pennington Smythe knows more about the world's mysteries than any man I know, and I know a fair bit more than I care to admit. Like me, he was insistent that we not let the amulet of Rahashmir fall into the Triad's hands. The captain is a genuine hero. As civilized men, we must do what we can to help. My disabilities make me a poor candidate for direct conflict, but my wealth and knowledge at least allow me to contribute in other ways.
I don't suppose he's throwing like some sort of big event that we might be able to sneak in as the help or something.
Oh, he's always throwing events. Most of the help is not of your background, shall I say?
We're the band.
You're the band.
No, we're the catering service.
It's his birthday soon.
Party
We
planners.
can have a party.
Yes. Let's go with it. It might just work.
He provides the fireworks show.
Yeah, HG can probably put together some test fireworks that we can show off to him and get on his good side. Maybe. Might at least be a way in.
But there's another thought. Do you know where the captain was set to take this amulet? To hide it at?
He says that I don't know. It was best that I didn't know. That way, if they got to me, and they still might.
You couldn't give it up.
And he takes this cane and he picks his cane up and he pokes one of these guys who are kind of lounging around over here, and he kind of stands up real quick and starts looking all tough, gunslinger type.
Yeah, Dillinger, I really hope you're not paying them too much.
I'm afraid any price would be overpaying. But
I agree.
But I would appreciate it if you could look into it for me. I'm really at wit's end, and I have no other options. And if it's the Explorer Society you're looking for, believe you me, I shall put a very good word in for you. In fact, you bring the captain back to me, and I'll pay your entry fees, which could be quite expensive.
So you pay our entry fee, and we're on agreement that you're hiring the Devil's Posse Detective Agency for a standard commission rate. We're good with that, right, boys?
I think maybe a better name would be appropriate, but otherwise I agree on what you said.
The standard commission rate.
Hey, Timmons, how about this time we give it to him on the house? He's already paying us with, if we can bring back the captain.
That sounds completely acceptable to me.
We've got overhead. We've got standard salaries that got to get paid. What are you talking about? Are you going to cover all that? Who's going to feed the
So it
horses,
sounds like
the
a
mules?
sucker's deal right there. On the house.
We could get some even more horses, mules, without enough pay.
Well, perhaps you're not of the Explorer Society type that I thought you would be. What is it your price?
Timmons, come on.
It's our standard commission price. We negotiate that at the end after we tally up all of our expenses.
He just
Oh, well,
Our
then it's not very
expenses plus
standardized, is it?
30%. It's not that much. Our expenses plus 30%.
well, some expenses are understandable. Keep tight purse strings. You've got to keep tight purse strings.
As long as bullets ain't too expensive, we good.
Well, can we at least give him a discount? Come on.
I give you a nickel off every bullet I shoot.
You're a real hard ass,
Less
Drake.
bloodshed, the better.
I concur.
Well, we can have a discussion later about what sort of discounts may or may not apply.
Sheriff,
So we could say
Sheriff
the
Hexman,
discounts may apply.
Yes.
perhaps this was a bad idea.
No, I want to help.
Well,
Expenses be damned.
what the hell happened here?
Hmm?
I must have hit a hotkey accidentally. I opened up the Mission de los Resucitados. Mission de los Santos Resucitados. And I was like, why did I open that? I hit a hotkey. Okay.
We certainly need to do something about this amulet there, Sheriff.
Yes, that doesn't need to fall into the wrong hands. So I'm willing to do this, for cheap, basically.
And if anyone could destroy it, I bet it is our friend Mr. HG there.
To quote the Latin term pro bono, I guess that's what we're doing.
I think you mean pro bono.
That's what I said. You making fun of my lisp again?
No, you just said it incorrectly.
Pro bonus.
Pro bono.
We need to
That's
work
what
with
I
the congregation.
said. You gotta listen closely.
That mean
Pro
you don't get a
bono.
bonus?
That's all we're gonna get out of this. Maybe some bonus. And rescue some amulet.
A very dangerous artifact. Go ahead, Brad.
Well, it sounds
And we
like
can get
somebody
a
pay real
info-
good for that amulet.
We are not selling the amulet, HG.
We can join this society though. Say it's expensive to join and you'll pay.
So there's our payment right there. I mean, we don't need to charge them anymore.
They might have very nice refreshments at this place. I do not know.
I mean, from what Lacey was telling us, the ring that they give you when you join can sometimes open doors. That sounds like it could be really helpful.
Like it's a key?
Yeah.
A key.
Well, we're probably
Not
full debt.
literally, but
He would get
Like
caught on
safe
things.
doors? Or...
That would make a good key though.
not literally, folks.
I mean, if we can open a couple safe doors, we can make our money back.
We're not robbing from safes. I'm a lawman. I can't be doing that shit.
But think about this: if this is a good way to lock things with these here rings, we can make sure that our mules and our horses were safe by locking them up somewhere.
So I wonder if Captain Roderick Pennington Smythe is locked in the safe. Now what are you gonna do? You need a key, you need picks, so we gotta go open.
Or,
If the criminals own the town, then the criminals own the bank. So, I mean, as a lawman, shouldn't you be trying to take away the criminals' money?
Well, does produce a very interesting point.
And what if the law's wrong?
And what if the law here conflicts with the law elsewhere because it is run by different individuals?
Well, I have to
I'm sure that's
respect.
true.
I have to respect the laws of this area. And if the criminals are technically the law, that's going to be very difficult to A, take their money, and B, get rid of them.
You know what tends to always be illegal as well as to be a sin? It is murder, and it sounds like if these guys don't like this Pennington Smith fellow, they might have murdered him,
Thanks, Eraser.
and that would be illegal.
I agree.
Kidnapping. That's probably
Kidnapping.
illegal too.
Yeah, this is a very delicate
No,
situation.
when you own the law, you just call that arresting someone.
But he wasn't at the marshal's office now, was he?
Not that we saw.
We didn't look in the back room. That might be where it was, but he probably wouldn't mention that
Yeah,
there.
well, Marshall
I
didn't
tried.
seem looking
You
for
guys
him.
didn't want to
neither.
go.
The deputies weren't going to allow you to go.
Well, I wonder then. You said this Pennington Smith fellow puts messages in the tombstone
No, that's Lacey.
epitaph, right? Oh, that's
That's
Lacey. But Lacey might know something about the captain, or be sending a message to the captain about where to hide this artifact in that there newspaper yet.
Wouldn't hurt to
Are we
check it
still
out.
sitting and talking in front of this
Dillinger.
Derringer guy?
Dillinger.
Nope. He's definitely having some buyer's remorse right about now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's listening to you guys argue and just
Even if
shaking his
we
head.
were free.
So Timmons slides the epitaph over and looks at it. Does he say anything?
Well, never.
You spilled some
You
tea
read-
on it. I'm just trying to wipe it off. Don't
Timmons,
want
don't
to
be
Earl
rude.
Grey stain it.
Maybe once we're in the Explorer Society, you can teach my friend here some manners.
I know how to use a fork.
You know how to use a what?
I don't think you're supposed to stab someone with a fork. You're supposed to eat your food with a fork.
Oh, okay. I thought you said fuck. That's why I was
Oh,
confused.
you're making fun of my lisp again.
Well, no, that's what he uses elsewhere. But he shouldn't because that's also a sin. But HG has a good
A
point.
fuck and a
We
fuck
need
are
to
two
get the
different
gambit.
things.
It sounds the same to me, Timmons.
HG brings up a good point. Let's get this amulet, and then we can figure out exactly what the costs were and how much payment would be needed.
Well, I think we need to find out where this fellow lives if we're going to go rescue somebody from his mansion.
Well, we should
Maybe
check.
we can ask around and see what's going on.
So I thought we pretty much knew where he lived. Everybody knew where he lived. Just the big ass fucking guarded house, the wall on the outside
Got
of
a big
town.
fence and guns and stuff.
We just ain't getting inside.
All right, what about this? There is some sort of fire brigade in this town, right?
Some kind of what?
Fire brigade.
Fire
Put out the
brigade?
fire.
Put out the
Yeah.
fire. You put out
Put
the
the fire.
fire.
If the fire, if we're in the fire brigade, and then for instance, if you were to set the house on fire, we'd have to go to the house to put out the fire because we're the fire brigade.
I thought somebody's barbecuing. Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
The Auspicious League of the Firefighting Brethren.
I'll say we go see if a wanted poster real quick.
I
Ask
found one of the
around
cards.
outskirts of town, see what's his name left headed.
Well, that makes sense.
Colonel Smythe.
Yeah, we
should
can certainly
also
ask
check
around.
the tombstone epitaph. See if there's any hints to where he might be hiding this amulet.
Or whatever information Lacey can provide us.
Yeah, maybe he sent a message about one of the best steaks in the country. I don't know. We have to look.
We know where that's at. That's that M Ranch we just left.
Maybe there's a better place.
All right, so
See,
Marv,
I take it you guys aren't really talking. You're probably talking huddled up in a group where he can't hear you, right? Or are you just openly talking out in front of him, taking his paper away from him?
Timmons was sitting right next to him.
Okay.
I think the non-Timmonses are speaking quietly.
To get his cookie off his plate.
but yeah, what does the epitaph say?
Biscuit.
It could be a scone.
It's a biscuit, damn it. Just go with it.
What does the epitaph say there?
You see, turn to page 13. Sure enough, in the classifieds, there's an ad that says, "Good intentions."
He's a little bit behind schedule.
Well, you guys will, you're traveling all over California. You never know when you're going to be back there. But as you pick these things up, you might want to, keep them in a journal someplace. Some things you might want to look at in the future. I have no idea about the Marbstones, Benno. I can't even remember setting that shit up. I think it's just it's from the chat bot, Streamlabs chat bot, and it awards stuff for people. Just it's like experience.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what's written in here today. So yeah, you might want to squirrel that away in your little journal.
I just added an item to my inventory and dragged the thing over to it.
There you go. All right, so have you guys agreed to help Dillinger here?
I think we're in
Yes.
agreement about helping, just not on the payment.
Well, he did agree to pay your entry fee into the Explorer Society.
Exactly.
It should be good, but I guess we'll keep discussing it.
I mean, you might ask
We're
him
like
how
not
much that
somebody else.
is, how much that entry fee is.
How much does it cost to join this Explorer Society anyway?
Well, donations are accepted, and they typically start at around $1,000.
What?
What is my expense?
Exactly. But the Explorer Society, it has benefits. There are expenses in operating a network of people, shall I say.
Yep, salaries and overhead. I know all about that. Business owner myself.
Thought I'd give a little love to FGC and Heroes Wanted.
Yeah, give him some love. Can't seem to find a Marbstones thing. Hell, I don't know.
Nope. We'll have to figure it out later.
Yep.
All right then.
So, is that a yes or a no? You guys are a yay or nay on Captain Smythe here?
We
yeah, we're
already
gonna
work
look
on the
for it.
problem, sir.
We're just trying to figure out how to go about doing it.
Says, well,
Maybe someone at the Jade has heard something or know where we might go. Maybe God saw something. Hey, God, fellow, you see anything?
guard fella. These five guys are, one of them is actually still wearing his jacket from Dixie Rails. Obviously a or not Dixie Rails, Union Blue.
Well, now we know why the Union lost.
Union Pacific. Yeah, so he's like,
Oh, that.
yeah, he's like the railroad. These guys all
Yeah.
look like they're probably,
Well, you said
former
Union Blue,
railroad. No,
and I was
not
thinking Union
soldiers.
Soldier.
No, Union Blue is the railroad. Is the name of the railroad, the Federal Railroad,
Gotcha.
and the railroad company, and whatever the hell the name of that railroad is that comes in from the east here.
Denver Pacific.
Denver Pacific. Yep. That's this leg of their railroad is called the Denver Pacific. So anyway, I think we're gonna leave it there, and you guys will start off looking for. You need to come up with some ideas though on how you're gonna, let me know about how you want to play this out. You want to just comb the streets? You want to try to slip in there? Which may be suicidal.
Well,
I'm not gonna push you any one direction.
Well, the first thing that we need to do is gather more info. Find out if Smythe was kidnapped and is where he's being held, or if he may have just, went over to his girlfriend's house.
Yeah, we need to find out where his last scene.
Yeah.
He was on. Maybe he got to this spot and is just really good at hiding, and that's why he went there.
Maybe he got lost.
Maybe he fell in a big hole.
Maybe he hid the artifact and they brought him here for questioning, because if they found the artifact, I'm sure they probably would have put a bullet in the back of his head.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the place he was hiding the artifact is so far away, he's still going there.
That's a possibility too.
Out on an island or something.
So what we really need to do right now is information gathering.
Do we have a description of what Captain Roderick Pennington Smythe looks like, or even a picture?
I do not know. I have not come across one. Let's find out.
Well, I don't mean the players. I meant the characters. Is there one hanging up in the hall or something? He is a war hero.
Hmm. One of these guys might be. Yeah.
You need the artifact for your adventure card? What?
So there's nothing hanging up because, unfortunately, the Explorers Society Lodge Hall was burned down. But he kind of describes the guy to you, and
I feel like he would stand out in the crowd.
Yeah, I agree. Now, is that a monocle, or a pair of glasses with lens broken?
He looked like he's jumping out of a Jumanji box.
I agree.
Somebody
I thought it was an eye patch and a monocle.
I think it's glasses, because the right side of it looks like a broken lens.
Looks like some
Looks like
steampunk
cybernetics.
I thought it was an eye patch.
No, it looks like he's wearing glasses with one broken lens.
Yeah.
If I zoom way in, it does look more like that.
Did anybody
All right.
even use any bennies this game?
Brad did.
But so the one thing we do know about this guy is his poor depth perception. So he may have fallen into a hole.
Are you guys still there with dude Dillinger, or did you leave?
We probably left, headed back towards the Jade for morning services.
Yep.
Maybe we can get a few stragglers or something and get some information from them.
Timmons leaves a tip on the table when he gets up.
Very good. So we'll leave it there for the week. We'll come back. Hopefully everybody will be nice and healthy next Thursday. And to everybody out there on the stream, hope you guys all stay good and healthy. Noticed earlier that Dragonbait said that he works in a hospital and it's kind of the calm before the storm there. So
Yeah, he works in the hospital pharmacy.
yep, good luck with it, buddy. You will probably be hammered before long. So anyway, I wish you all the best. Have a great week. Let's see who else is out there streaming. Diesel Shot. What was he doing that I saw earlier? Oh,
Caesar's wait, he's online. Yeah, Caesar's online. WML John.
yeah. I thought I had
Yeah,
him followed.
I don't see him online.
It says he's online. I have him followed. He's on the left.
He might be online, but he's not.
Whoa! Who got me, Brad?
Brad. Good job, Brad.
Good Lord. Thank you, Bradius Caesar. Thank you very
Well,
much.
Gotta keep that ticker healthy.
you might have to go talk to the fellow earlier about that. The way you responded, your heart may stop.
I'll have to go pee. Dragonbait, there's Dragonbait. 300 biddies, thank you, sir. Good luck to you over the next couple of weeks. Is this? Hopefully, we'll see you next Thursday, and you won't be too worn out from work. It'd be nice if we've kind of seen the worst of it and people hunker down and stop spreading this shit around. And just my opinion, but so hopefully a couple of weeks we'll be back to normal. Anyway, all the best to all you guys. Did we find somebody to stream? Did we find somebody? Somebody's got to be out there. Or Gazumba, Wizards of the Couch. Wizards of the Couch is doing something with Luke Gygax. Let's go see what.
FGC is running.
What?
No, it's a rerun.
Yeah.
It's a rerun.
Yeah, they're doing. Whose monster is it anyway? With special contestant Luke Gygax. Gary Gygax's son.
Right.
Lieutenant
cool.
Colonel.
For Gary Con.
I think he just got promoted.
Colonel?
I think he just got promoted to Light Colonel.
Really? Let's go see what they're doing. Let's raid over there. So thank you all again, and we'll see you next Thursday. Tell them bye, everybody.
Bye-bye,
everybody.
Adios.
Good night.
Sayonara.
Here we go. Rating with 2 viewers, with 5 viewers. Tomorrow night, Curse of Strahd, right here with Venerick, DM Venerick. Saturday night, we're going back into Avernus on Rob Toohey's stream, so we'll catch you then. Here we go. 13 Raiders, and have a great weekend, guys.